In Lesotho, we like to prepare simple traditional meal, such as lekobe. Lekobe is a stew with beans, berries, and a sorghum porridge. Even simple boiled meat and vegetables. Basotho love corn-based dishes, including pap or motoho, which is a fermented sorghum porridge. The Basotho cuisine includes sauces, generally less spices than any other country in Africa. So, salads are common side dishes in Lesotho. Basotho really like sorghum-based alcohol, which is based called Mafi Mkomboti. It is a consumption as well as for sale. So basically consumed in the actively fermented state. Lesotho has been affected by multiple shocks which have been constrained growth. Its development prospects are affected by the challenging global environment characterized by the war in Ukraine, rising global geopolitical tension, climate change, and the other abating COVID-19 pandemic. About 66% Lesotho's population lives in rural areas where the economy is largely based on small scale agriculture. Many of these people engage in subsistence farming, meaning they rely on a good harvest to be able to feed their families. Lesotho's economy slowed down substantially because of the major political conflicts causing the temporary disruption in business activities. Unemployment remained high as one of the most serious problems facing Lesotho, with poverty still severe. And also, the quality of school education for most people is substandard and spatial. Challenges continue to marginalize the poor. I will conclude by saying it is time to unite as one Africa and build a better continent and a better, safer, prosperous world. Africa Day is an opportunity to celebrate African diversity and success, and also to highlight the cultural and economical potential. May God bless Africa and the rest of the world. Aluta continua. Ke a leboha.
Siyabonga kakhulu, all the way from the kingdom of Lesotho. I'm hearing they were also colonized. The previous speaker was also colonized. The difference is that is the Belgians who speak French, and the other one is the English. That's the threat, that's the common issues of challenges that I'm hearing. But I'm hearing that people are living well, people are not living the colonial legacy. Uguti, we were colonized, that they cannot move beyond. They are moving beyond. And they are saying today, it's one of those opportunities to stand up. We should not be singing the song of colonization forever. We must also sing the song of peace building, uniting amongst ourselves. We will hear more. Beyond colonization, there's still ethnic conflicts. Solo siyalwa singama different tribes in our countries, asizwani. Why and why? We'll hear from Nigeria. What is happening there? Over to you, Nigeria.
Sanbanane, Ninjani, Siyaphila. Mengicela ukuthi as Africa must be munye. We must be one. Okay, igama ulisedi Mlotshwa, I'll be representing Nigeria. So I'll start by talking of the population of Nigeria. The population of Nigeria is 220.9 million. And Nigeria was colonized by the British Empire from the mid-19th century until 1960. And it was ruled by the British colony and inside the capital city of Lagos. Common languages that were spoken there were Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo, and English. By the time the religions were Christianity and Islam. The currency was a Nigerian pound until it changed to a naira. By that time when there was a lot of violence in Nigeria, that created a legacy of violence by that time because violence was a tool of domination and resistance. So in 1988, it received its charter from the British Crown. Then Nigeria became the most diverse country in the world with almost over 527 languages. And the foreign languages were Arabic and French. So the list of ethnic groups were Yoruba people, Hausa people, Igbo people, and the Fula people. And what I like about the economy was that by the time British found oil in Nigeria, and it became the most popular oil from Shell Garage and BP Garage. And they had natural gases that were needed. And then the cultures that are being practiced in Nigeria, a common one is a handshake. And when you do a handshake, you must let the woman first bring her hand up to you. You don't just bring your hand up to her. That's rude. And then you don't rush to greet a person. You must take your time and know the well-being of the person. And then religious and spiritual were practiced there. And then I'll talk about the refugees. In Nigeria, we have a problem and a crisis because an estimated of 2 million people have fled from their homes and ran to sought refuge in neighboring African countries. They fled because they had a problem of being sexual and gender-based violence. And some ran from insecurity and attacks from the military and life threats. So the asylum seekers gave Nigerian places like Nigeria, Chad, and Cameroon were the Islam countries for Nigeria. Then moving on, I'll talk about the climate. It has almost 3 climates in Nigeria. We have characterized by tropical monsoon in the south, tropical savanna climate for most of the central regions, and semi-arid climate in the north. Lying around the whole year, Nigeria is really hot, with tropical zones, with a little variation between winter and summer. Wet seasons are from April to October. Then dry seasons are from November until March. We have staple foods, which are starchy foods like yam, meaning like it's almost like a banana, and cassava, rice, potatoes, and sorghum. And they are very often consumed with a wide, very hearty soups and stews made with different types of meat and vegetables. In November, we passed the Climate Change Act that seeks to achieve low greenhouse gas and green sustainable growth by practicing framework. And it was declared and signed into the law by President Buhari. The mechanisms that we came up with was by reducing the involvement of reducing and trapping greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, and we should stop burning of fossil fuel for electric and transport. And that will enhance the sinks that accumulate the stores on these gases. The political economic relationship that we have with other countries are that in Nigeria we have a good relationship with intimate neighboring countries, and we played a leading role in West Africa with our military powers by saving people and perpetuating peace and stability in Africa's most prosperous regions. So In 1960, we were granted independence, and a new constitution was established as a federal system with an elected prime minister and a head of state. So Nigeria is a nice place to be because everyone is welcomed. They don't choose, they don't categorize anyone from Africa. So asibeni monye, nyabonga.
Siyabonga kakhulu. We will hear from the country of Ethiopia now. Thank you very much, Nigeria, for the enlightenment. And what I know is that MTN has the largest subscribers in Nigeria in terms of economic exchange. Similarly, we are benefiting from one of the cheapest cement, AfriCem. Who's the engineer beyond AfriCem?
The British.
No.
Dangote,
who is our Nigerian brother and the founder of this cheapest cement that we are now using. This conversation is trying to enlighten us, Uguti, in all the yins and the yangs, the negatives and the positives. We should also know the positive things that unites us, and the economy is one of those. Nyabonga kakhulu. Ethiopia, we are learning, our young people are learning to do their own research about Africa. In future, if they don't get this platform, they are the ones who are going to be violent. But as they begin to research about who they are, how they connect with other Africans, environmentally, socially, economically, politically, and technologically, then they will know the truth of who they are. Ethiopia, the Valley of Haile Selassie. Over to you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. From up here, ngathi abantu abaningi balele, abanye bakhathele. I don't know, are we too slow or angazi? Can we be a bit lively? Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Zinhle Mtshali, and namhlanje I'm going to introduce Ethiopia to you. So, Ethiopia, we are in the Horn of Africa, and fun fact, we date back to the 5th century. So, we are called the motherland, like humankind is from us. That's a fun fact, though. Okay, so we are a place of ancient culture with finds that date back more than 3 million years back. So we've got a population of about 126 million people living in our country. Our capital city is, thank you, Addis Ababa. That is our capital city. We've got 87 official languages. No, we've got 87 languages in our country, but we've got just a few official languages, namely the Oromo, Somali, Afar, then Amharic people. Sorry if I'm saying that incorrectly. So we've got the Oromo people, we've got the Amhara people, we've got the Somali, we've got the Sidima, and we've got 80 other groups of people in our country. So religion, we have the oldest book, we have the oldest Bible in the world, and so we also have the oldest church, the Christian church. So in Ethiopia, we specialize in Christianity and Muslim, but we also have other people. We've got the Judaism and other African religions. So from the other 80 tribes. Okay. Ethiopia is one country that was never colonized. We were never colonized. Till date, we still have the strongest military around Africa, that much I know, and in most parts of the world. So we were never colonized, even though the Italians came, but we won the battle. So they moved out. So we were never colonized. So that is what is different between me and the rest of the countries. Yes. So our main economic activities, we specialize in agriculture, which contributes 46% of GNP in our country and more than 80% of exports. So we employ 85% of the population in our country through agriculture. Another fun fact, we are the home of coffee. So the coffee bean is from Ethiopia. All the coffee beans, by the way. So our major export crop is coffee, which makes up 35% of our foreign exchange earnings. We also have hides, we have skin, we have pulses, we have oil seeds, and the traditional cut, which makes up clothes. So that's agriculture from us. Sugar and gold has been the very recent important goods, so in these recent years. So we also export gold and sugar, but this is very recent. Our staple food is injera. So it is made out of flour, and the wheat is originally from Ethiopia also. So we also export wheat, portion of rice, insect. Insect is a plant, not insects like live insects, no, it's a plant from Ethiopia. So we've got dishes like kitfo, dorowat, and injera, we have it with soup, so that's our staple food. Culture, so most of our population is Christian, and the other, let's say about 50% is Christian, then 30% is Muslim, and then the other 10 is the other tribes, the other traditional tribes around our country. So, religion. So we have, for refugees, we have an open door policy for refugees fleeing from other countries into our country. So we have an open door policy for all refugees. Okay? So, and we have the longest history of hosting refugees. South Africa, for one, during apartheid, we trained some of your leaders because we are very good in military. Migration. So we have a lot of human rights. As much as we are from Ethiopia, we were born and our origin is in Ethiopia, we do not love each other as we should as Africans. So we are very divided as tribes. So we were never colonized, yes, but as tribes, we are very much separated. And this causes some of the tribes to now move away from Ethiopia and find refuge in other countries. But we are hoping for a better tomorrow. Aren't we, Africans? So our immigration to South Africa is very much gendered. So most of the immigrants that come into South Africa are young males. This is because of political issues, obviously, and tribal issues. So our young men are taken into military by force. Yes, we do hold the trophy of being the best in military, but then our young men who have dreams are taken into military by force. So you might be going to school, but because you are a young male, you are automatically taken into military. So that means goodbye to your family. So hence why we have people migrating to South Africa. Yes, so we have, we mostly play as a peacemaking, reconciliation, and meditation, and we play a particular role in working to resolve the ongoing crisis in our neighboring countries, because that is what we are close to and that is what we can oversee at this point. So we have climate changes, as South Africa has. Some countries, they don't have too much climate changes, but we are very seasonal. So in some parts of our country, it's very hot, and in some parts of our country, it rains a lot. This means these are for different types of crops. But at some point, if the rain doesn't rain as much as it used to, then it means the crop is, those crops get affected, and vice versa. So we have policies and mechanisms, because agriculture is one of our main activities, so we have to protect that with everything. So we've got tree planting for soil erosion, practice the off-farm activities, soil and water conversations, and the strategy aims to keep greenhouse gas emissions low and build climate resilience while achieving middle income status. So we're still trying to make money, but we're also trying to save our land. So that is me from Ethiopia.
Africa must unite. Do you agree with me? Africa must unite. Bob Marley also had a song, Africa unite, for we're moving right out of Babylon, and we're moving to our father's land. How good and how present it will be. They are best singers in the house. I won't take their time. Ethiopia was never colonized, but tribal conflicts and ethnic conflicts, ethnic intolerances are a challenge. The drought, climate is affecting our region. The next wars, they say, they will be around water. Who has enough water, who doesn't have water? The next crisis is generally around climate, the environment, imvelo, which we have not respected much. But siyajabula ohulumeni bethu bayatithatha tinyathelo kwenda lokuthide kuze ukuthi imvelo ivikeleke. Environmental protection, environmental preservation. We have one planet. There's no other. I'll go into that. Thank you so much, Ethiopia. I started here in my stomach, in the heart of Congo. I went down to Lesotho. I went down on my other side, which is Nigeria. I went down on the other side, which is Ethiopia. Now I'm right here. Right here, which is Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe in the house. Zimbabwe in the house. Africans in the house. My vision and my hope is that we are able to move from Cape to Cairo without any challenges. In fact, we are able to do that. In 2016, I went to Ghana. I didn't have a visa. The people that had invited me, they met me at the airport, and they facilitated that process. I was never stuck in the airport because I don't have a visa. So these are the stories we need to tell of those that are able, those that are in power, that are able to open doors. Let's open doors for each other. Singabantu, after all. Zimbabwe, are you here? Hope Foundation, Combined School. Can I see you there? Can I see you there? Yanginizwa.
Thank you. Sanbonani. Ninjani. My name is Rudolph Shikwe, and I just want to go through with you as I introduce you to my country, Zimbabwe. My country has a lot of misconceptions, so I want us to clear that today. So before I can start introducing and telling you more about my country, when I say sisonke, you say simunye, and when I say simunye, you say sisonke, ne? Can we try that? Sisonke? Sisonke? Simunye? Thank you. All right. So my country, Zimbabwe, is one of the beautiful countries, but most people will never know because you have never visited our country, especially Africans. So I urge you to please do visit our country. We have a population of around 16 million people, but mostly we have left our country because of the political turmoil that's happening in our country. We are about 700,000 that we have migrated from Zimbabwe and came into South Africa because of the political unrest. So Zimbabwe was colonized from 1890. From 1890 to 1980, that's almost a century. Almost 100 years of being oppressed and being colonized. So that's why you see the conditions of our country being the way they are today. So with that being said, in 1980, we reached our independence, and then Robert Mugabe became our prime minister, and he ruled for almost 30 years. But through sanctions that were imposed on our country after we got our independence, it was very difficult for our economy to thrive because the West were not happy with us getting our independence. So one person who was responsible directly for our colonization was the man called Cecil Rhodes, who also changed the name of our country from Zimbabwe to South Rhodesia and Rhodesia back in the time of colonization. And then the languages that we speak there, we have 4 main languages, which are Shona, Sezuru, Kalanga, and Manyika. Shona, one of the most beautiful languages. If you want to learn an extra language, that's one language that maybe you can tap into and look at. Our economic activities, as I said, sanctions were imposed within our countries, but we are very rich when it comes to minerals and resources. Because we got our independence earlier, we are one country that our resources has been not mined within our country. We have diamonds, we have gold, we have gas, and then oil that was newly discovered in our country. And then our history, before colonization, we had empires that were ruling us. Hence, I want to appreciate that we have kings in the house who must also take a role into uniting our countries so that we can all live in peace. We had the Kalanga empires and the Mapungube empires, which were ruled under kings, and our economy were thriving under that time. So it's very important that our kings also play a role in stabilizing our community, because through politics, our country has faced a lot of challenges. And then if you want to try something, our staple food is called sadza, which is a mixture of maize that is soft, almost like a soft porridge, but it has our Zimbabwean flair and touch and our heart. And then so yeah, that's probably almost everything that we can say about our country. And then one thing that I would love to leave you with is that we need to ask ourselves, who are we before colonization, and who are we? And who are we on what we want to stand for? Once the political turmoil and instabilities are resorted in our country, some of us, we would love to be in our country and grow our economy, but because of all the challenges that we're currently facing, it happens to be difficult for us to be able to stay there. But then, once everything is resolved and we are united, maybe one day we can all live in peace and harmony without the borders that separate us. Thank you.
We are the people that built the Mapungubwe cities. We are the people that built Benin City. We are the people who built Lalibela Church and carved a stone somehow or somewhere in the 5th century. We are the people, when Leopold was assassinated, we are the people whom Belgium has their tooth of Lumumba, Patrice. They took his tooth when they assassinated him. It's in Belgium. We are the people whom when you visit New York, the New York Museum, you can spend 1.5 days just observing all of our artifacts, including some of our gods and goddesses that have been taken in the pyramids of the Giza, the ancient civilizations. That's who we are. Correcting my young people here, it depends who's counting in the numbers of Zimbabweans. I've also lived in Australia as an academic. They are in all universities. So it's not only that they come here, they are in diaspora, they also serve in the healthcare sectors as doctors and nurses all over the world. So we should just check our numbers so that we do not create conflict. Now we're going to Somaliland. Nisesekhona? Niyangiva na? Africa must unite now. As from today, simunye, we are one. Ngiyabonga. Somali?
Thobela, Nda, Abusheni, Sanbonani, Lochani, Pula, Nalina Lakakenna Jack Makotoni Mabokachaba. I'm standing here before you representing Somalia as my country. Somalia, it is officially the Federal Republic of Somalia. It is famously known as a country that is located at the Horn of Africa. We are also known by a country that has the longest coastline. Somalia, we are bordered by 5 countries, namely it's Ethiopia, which is on our west, Djibouti, which is on our northwest, Gulf of Eden on the north, Indian Ocean east, and Kenya on the southwest. We are a country that has over 17 million when it comes to population. It is unfortunately that Somalians, us, we were colonized in the 1800s by the British protectorates and the Italian colonies. Until date, that has affected us badly because to find stability, it's hard. And I wouldn't advise anyone currently to go and visit our country since we're having political unrest, we are having health issues such as cholera. We are also having high rate of crime, high rate of kidnappings. And one of the biggest challenges that we have in Somalia is the access to medical resources and facilities. So I would like to also highlight the point of atrocities that were committed by Italian colonizers in the 1800s. It affected Somalians economically, socially, because we were recruited, especially the young men, the young future generation of us Somalians. We were recruited in military while those who were incompetent were enslaved. But then, fortunately enough, we found our independence in the 1960s. Hence, today we have an official public holiday, which we are celebrating it on the 1st of July. It is an official public holiday because that's when we found our independence. In Somalia, we have 2 official languages, namely is Somali and Arab. And we've got about over 80 ethnic groups, but I would like to highlight 5 important ones, or the major ones rather. Namely, it's DR, Isaac, Haiwe, and Darude. And an interesting fact, which I've realized that we are sharing it with other neighboring countries, is the economic activities. We are predominantly active in agriculture, which accounts to almost 65% of GDP, and it also allows us to create job employment that can accommodate over 65%. We are also rich in trade exchange with the likes of fish, livestock, bananas to our neighboring countries and also to the countries that are just outside our continent for the likes of the United States of America. We as Somalians, we practice our culture, namely Somali, and this can be seen through poetries, folk dancing, performance of plays, and our beautiful music. And we deal with migration in a very interesting way because we're opening like safe routes to sanctuary for refugees. It is one important solution because it means we are allowing people to reunite with their relatives. And we are also giving refugees visas. And the visa can be able to help them not to be spending their time to saving and risk drowning to reach safety. That also means we are resettling the refugees who need it. And our temperatures are mostly interesting because we have hot temperatures for those who are not doing well in winters, and we have high humidity, hence it is so supporting our agriculture activities. Due to the current state of the war between Ukraine and Russia, we are facing difficulties when it comes to our trade exchange because we supply Russia with wheat product. When they bring it back to us, we can be able to do our staple foods such as flatbread, pasta, rice, sorghum, you name them. And another interesting thing is that we have adopted a climate policy in 2021, July, which the policy is aimed to reduce greenhouse gas with about 30%. And our government injected about 6.9 billion of dollars so that it could maintain the low levels of the greenhouse. And the countries that we are socially, politically, and economically relating or having a relationship is Ethiopia, Djibouti, Ghana, South Africa, Sudan, Belgium, France, and other countries is Russia, United Kingdom, and United States. I would also like to go towards my conclusion because I have thoroughly done my research. But what I can leave you with is that Africans, we are the originators of life. Africans, we are gods. Yes, Africans, we are gods. Africans must unite and nothing will bite. Instead, we will forever have peaceful nights. Africans uniting wouldn't be bad. Instead, we will forever be had. Pula! Pula!
This is the moment. Round of applause, beautiful Africans. Shine wherever you are, shine. Khanya lapho khona khanya. Camako. Ngifuna kubingelela inkosi Mzazela wesibili nequeen inkosatada Mzazela wesibili. Respect. Ngiphinze ngimukele ma peace builders wase Mamelodi West. They are also here. I'm requesting, thank you, shine peace builders from Mamelodi West, shine. Africans, without people on the ground doing this peace work, without Amakosi doing this peace work, there will be no peace. If we talk about tribal violence, ethnic violence, we talk about the same thing. Oguti, the leaders who are old and young, and somewhere in the middle, they must come together in an intergenerational dialogue of building social cohesion. Time for conflict is over. We are tired. Any forms of conflict, we are tired. And I said today, we start now by having peace in our homes, no matter how difficult it is. Ngithi mina nyalo la, kube nekuthula emndenini wakho, kube nekuthula estradini sakho, kube nekuthula enhlanganweni yakho in your organization, kube nokuthula in your national, provincial, regional and international role. Ngiyavakala? Ngiyavakala? Ngathi angivakala. Ngiyavakala? Uma ngingavakali ngitawukhuluma kuze kube kusasa nize nithi niyeva. Angeke ngigcine phela ngingithishela mina futhi on my other life. Le ngakufundzela ukukhuluma from 8 to 5. So ngitawukhuluma. Asivumeni bo. Injalo. Ngibonge kakhulu. La ngaphambili. Kunetikhulumi tami leti-4. Labane. Batawubuta imibuto kulaba labeme ngaphambili. Los already can take the mic and ask the question. I'll request my main speakers to jot down those questions and then respond. We'll just take one round and then get a response from these 4 young people who are also our peace ambassadors. And I'm requesting while they are doing that, Hope Foundation Combined School gets ready for their performance. And same as the group from Rwanda, they must get ready for their performance. Over to you, Tim.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you. My name is Mordecai Sizwelenko Sindlovu, and I am representing South Africa. This comes from Ordinary South African Voices. The preamble of South African Constitution states that the country belongs to all who live in it. We truly believe in this, and as we discuss this, we realize that as much as it's brought good things in our country, it has as well brought many challenges in our country. Instabilities in terms of energy crisis, increase in infrastructure, international business, wars, climate change. These are some of the few mentions as a country we've been facing. There's instabilities in terms of our economic and political standpoint. And we need you to ask, we are asking from you, looking at our constitution, how can you assist us in making sure that our country is safer and better? I'll add also and say that there's many dignity issues that we are facing as a country. And those dignity issues are those of border controls. Many families are going through borders and are at risk of being violated in borders. And we are also asking to say that, how can you help us to help your country? Because there is a dignity conversation that we are having when we are talking about the issues that you are facing in your country. And then lastly, I'd like to ask you, what are you doing in your country to ensure that we as South Africa can assist you? Thank you.
One, two. Sanbonani. Nikhona? All right. Mina igama lami uThumeleng Kwapeng. Umfana wala Alex. Kwala ekhaya. So mina I'm concerned about into Iwana because of, as we saying that we are all Africans. You understand? We have to love one another and think for each other. You understand? So, as South Africa is just one country, Because now we have borders. We are speaking about the current situation. We have borders. And then now there are laws in the borders. I can't just run into Nigeria or Ethiopia and do whatever I want. There are laws. So now, here in South Africa, we are facing a challenge of people coming in our country undocumented. So how can you help us to get rid of this problem that we are facing in our country?
I think le mibuzo lona mihle kakhulu. So ene imibuzo le ebuzwa imiphakathi hayi lo orepresentela kuphela ukuthi ubuya la ekhaya la sikhona khona. Imiphakathi eminingi across South Africa ne question ka Mordecai umzukulu lapha is the same issue that preoccupies most South Africans. Can we get a response from my beautiful panel? Who wants to start?
Hello, South Africa. Yeah, so like, one thing for sure, which we all need to do, in as much as you have said, you have heard me from Congo, is that what do we need borders for? Like, the first question, which of course, I'm answering you, but I also want to find out, to say that, what do we need borders for? When America doesn't have borders, when Europe doesn't have borders, why should we have borders in such a way that we fight among ourselves to say that you are stealing from me, you are doing this and that from me? The very same way, guys, you are experiencing, we are also experiencing. There are so many wars, and then remember, these wars are funded by the so-called first world countries. But if we are to be united, starting from removing the borders, we will not be complaining to say that the borders are weak, the security is weak. Remember the budgets we have within our country, from the minerals we sell, from the resources we have, we can all together put them to ensure that we secure the African border in general. Not necessarily to say that the Ethiopian cannot come to South Africa, the Congolese cannot come to South Africa. We've been one person throughout.
Hello, South Africa. So, I would like to take your question. But yes. So, you were asking, Guti, how can we help you get rid of undocumented refugees that come into South Africa? So, through my research, I have discovered that as a person who flees their country, we flee our countries for different reasons and at different times. It might happen that I fled my country at night. It might happen that it was during a war. It might happen it was during a tribal unrest or anything of that sort. That means my life is in danger, so I fled my country and I come to South Africa. As South Africans, you have a law that says, okay, so I'm an asylum seeker when I get to your country. I'm not a refugee. I have to apply to be a refugee. But when I come in, I'm an asylum seeker. And you guys have RR officers that you have that states that after I flee from my country and get to South Africa, I have to put in my application. And with that, if I have supporting documents, that's good. But if I do not have supporting documents, I still apply. I ran from my country during a war. I couldn't take my ID. But when I get here, as form of identification, I have to go to the RR office within 5 days of me being in the country and apply for the asylum seeking. And then when I get my permit, then I can apply to be a refugee in your country. But it depends how long I stay. So if it happens that I come here with my family and my country is not safe and it doesn't prove to be safe in the coming future, then I stay for over 10 years constantly in your country, then I can apply for a permanent citizenship. That is your law. Thank you.
Siyabonga kakhulu. As a matter of fact, RROs, these are refugee reception offices, which is where people who come from other countries fleeing persecution on the basis of what she has said, they then can go and apply. And we give thanks to the reopening of the refugee reception office in Cape Town, which had been closed for more than 10 years. So we give thanks to the authorities, to the Department of Home Affairs, and the civil society organizations that have worked together to ensure that refugees, asylum seekers, when they arrive in South Africa, they have a place to apply. Another thing that leads to undocumentation is because we have 5 places in South Africa, 5 offices where you can apply. In fact, it's only 3 where you can apply. The 2, it's only for renewals. It's not any other office. So the challenge is that you have to move from your, let's say you got in via Mpumalanga, you have to move to Mpumalanga to Marabastad. Or you happen to find yourself in Pretoria on your day of arrival and the queues are long, you have to go to Cape Town. I just want to make it clear that there's only 5 refugee reception offices in South Africa. It's not all the Home Affairs. In conclusion, the issue of budgets that goes into financing wars are unbelievable. Those that study AMA developmental reports, they say 7 days in a year, if that budget of financing a war, only batate 7 days of that budget, and it goes to transforming people's lives. Everybody in the whole world can have free housing, free education, free water, and sanitation, just in 7 days. I normally translate it to if we can say between what we call 25 December, Christmas, our old way of celebrating Christmas. No January is 2nd, is 7 days. That budget city, Wonkumuntu goes on holiday and be their family. Everyone who is in the army, and we're not financing those activities. All of us sing about right. Secondly, if the minerals of Congo were used in an equitable way, all Africans can get umdende, grant yaga 40K. These were the reports zaga 2010. 40,000 rand, ye grant every African, not every South African. If Lama resources lawa was Congo are being used correctly. And every African can get free housing, same, water, sanitation, education up to 4-year degree. That's how wealthy it is. During COVID in Congo, for example, they discovered a mountain in Zaba Bokoko, Nabomkul, Yekolite, pure gold, lengatzingi kuwashwa. The way heart of Congo is so rich. These are my concluding remarks. It's an opening of continuous dialogue with tolerance, and do the good work that will unite us. Ngiyabonga kakhulu, bashele ntandla, sebayohlala phansi. Take your seats. I'm calling upon Hope Foundation Combined School. While they are moving to stage, we will have a next session where there's panelists. I can see my eyes have been thrown to one of the panelists, the social cohesion advocate, Usipo Mantula, who's also in the house, one of the biggest Pan-Africanists that is mentoring all of us. Greetings, brother. We also have Sovereign Congress of African Leaders. I think they were acknowledged before. We see them. I'm requesting a Hope Foundation, Combined School, and thereafter, Ntawubisela Tinzambo kumlingani wami u-Aaron. Can you give me the music as they attempt the stage? Thank you, leader. Accent the stage. Let's welcome them. Let's welcome them. A round of applause. They are part of a project that is supported by UNICEF and the European Union, promoting best practice for children in migration. We have close to 600 children in South Africa that are in migration. Some are unaccompanied, akwaziwa ukuthi abazali babo abobani, abanye bavele bathi hamba uyofuna impilo engcono. It could be from Western Cape, it could be from maybe Lesotho, Botswana. We call them children in migration. They don't have any form of documentation. They don't have any access to psychosocial support. Ukubasupporta ngokwengcondo if banikeziwe nje balahlwa abazali. And one of the responsibilities that we are forgetting ukuthi how we do social cohesion. I've mentioned it. Family care. This thing of it takes a village to raise a child. It must be in real. The stage is yours, leaders. You can accent. We're waiting for you. It takes a village to raise a child. How dare do we allow a child to beg in the street while you are sitting in your house next door to where the street is? Where are those values? Where is it lost? It can't be one person. It's all of us. Isisho city, kuthatha umphakathi, kukhulisa umntwana. Are you ready, guys? Okay, a round of applause. Hope Foundation Combined School. Ladies and gentlemen, they are part of a project for promoting best practice for children in migration. Some of them are orphans. It gives me pain. Some of them, they were just thrown in the streets. South Africa. Some have been violated sexually. It's a pain. I respect them. I respect the teachers. I respect the caregivers. Round of applause.
One, two. Esandleni, asambeni. Nganyu, asambeni, let's go guys, let's go. Mina ngai.
Asambe koku yongihlola. Asambe koku yongihlola. Awufele mina nganuwa. Vele mina nganuwa. Awufele mina nganuwa.
That's something that's very interesting. Ukuthi nokusuke eRwanda, nokusuke eZambia, nokusuke eZimbabwe, sonke siyakita. Indaba lena. Mara sokushitsha izinto kancane. Inkosi yamajongo. I know kuthanda ne-radio backstage. One Africa, one village. One village. One Africa. One village. Sunday usomizo mhlekisi lathi umuntu ngani? Yena uthi umuntu ngemfele. So umuntu ngabantu sabantu sonke. So manje sofaka inkosi yamajongo after that bese kuzoza uphuthe sinokuluka. Sesisondele ukuthi sivale isizulu. Matabelata nisi. Umuntu abajani. Inkosi yamajongo mangeleki njalo isifana nekala. Sakipo, inkosi yamajongo irindi. Awunasifuna mfowethu. Masiletha. Bathi number 7, u7 basithelela. Inkosi yamajongo irindi umuva kuphela. Alexandra, uzosapota umcimbi omhlangayo. Ngiyazibongela. Princess Nogulunga. Kero stand by. Ngicela ukunikeza warning bathi nje uprincess azoyishaya. Sizomangala. Kuza netafile ezogibela la phezulu. Yini lo yenza le stage? Umsebenzi. Uyangazi mina. Ngizalwa kwaSokhela. Uyambona uSokhela lo beyiNazaretha? Ojale hostel. Umzawa wami lo. Mina ugogo maSokhela. Hayi, khululeka ngiyazi. Yazi, ngazi kakhulu. Ngazi kakhulu. Ya. La emadala nje vele ngingapheli khona. Mina lo. Ya. Cha, ngiyabonga. Isihlobo sami lesi. Isihlobo sami. Ngizocela my panelists basondele to come on stage. This is in response to all the conversations and the debate that we're going on about what can we do as Africans to ensure social cohesion, to ensure that whatever challenges that we have as different African states, we can do away with those. One particular one that I liked was the fact that kutheni i-borders singazisusi kodwa ku-America azikho i-borders. So I would like to call upon my panelists baze ngaphambili as we put up the podiums. Every podium will have a mic on it. I would like to start off from UNICEF South Africa, Child Protection Manager, Miss Helen Nyangoya, to come and join us on stage, followed by Advocate Sipo Mantula, Social Cohesion Advocate, and also Mr. Pumlani Majaka Jaka, Department of Justice and Institutional Development, as well as geopolitical analyst Mr. Lunga Tweba, in a stage to respond to the different issues and the challenges that we spoke about as Africans. Good to see you again. Let's just make sure we test all our mics. Siasbasi ready.
Africa.
with my panelists, start from going down to the bottom of the African continent, South Africa. Ironically, ladies first.
Is it fine?
Over to my panelists. Thank you very much. Siabo.
Jambo. Jambo. You got it. My name is Helen Yangoya. I work at the United Nations Children's Fund, known as UNICEF, and we partner with Action for Conflict Transformation and the various government departments present to really look at how we support all children in South Africa. At UNICEF, we believe that a child is a child. It doesn't matter the migration status of the child, where the child was born. What matters is that we must ensure that we protect children, that we send them to school, that they receive immunization and vaccination, and also we show them love and care at home. So today, I've been very pleased to hear the beautiful, beautiful African songs. And most of the songs, I didn't understand the meaning, but the African beat, there's just something about the African beat. You can't stop moving when there's an African beat around it. You know, whichever country the song comes from. This African beat, the African music really unites us. And I think some of the songs that I've heard are calling for us to take action. And what the young people have shown us is that with the modern day technology, we really can harness social cohesion. The young people researched, perhaps they talked to people from those countries, probably they used computers in school or talked to friends, but sharing with us the rich culture from those African countries is really something that I think we should take beyond just here today. What I can say today is that we are very privileged for all of us who are listening to the presentations today to learn about the African continent and the richness of the African continent. And we must never forget, I think one of the speakers talked about, before the young people, United States of African people. I think there was lots of stories shared, the food that comes from the various countries, and the culture, the language. And language is something that's very important as well. You know, from the conversations that I was hearing, at least there are some languages that are spoken in more than one African country. I know for sure, for certain, I come from East Africa. We have a common language, Swahili, that's spoken across the many East African states, which also helps us to come together. I know one of the young people was talking about one of the languages that's spoken in Zimbabwe that also joins us together. So there are so many, we have so many similarities. Our countries on the African continent are faced by various challenges, and especially the children. The children living in South Africa, the challenges of the children living in South Africa, whether they're South African children or whether they're children that were born in other countries and moved to South Africa, or whether they're children who are born in South Africa in one province and moved to another province. I think we live on the same continent, we live on the same countries, and if there are challenges that we are facing, I think it's those challenges that we should embrace together as a community, I know one of us talked about it takes a village to raise a child, and we are forgetting that sometimes. I think what the young people have shown us today is that indeed many African countries still face challenges, but amongst those challenges there's this resilience, as you can see from the African dance, from the African music, and just generally the African spirit. You know, for those Pan-Africanists, they say, Africa lives in me. You know, I don't live in Africa. Africa is me. Africa is who we are. It's our spirit. It defines us. So I'm sure even me, as I was sitting here, none of you could tell that I'm from Kenya, right? Because we are all one nation. We have all one mother, and Africa is our mother, you know. So let's embrace our mother, Africa. Let's embrace our continent, Africa. Let's embrace the young generation. I really enjoyed the prayer about the people who are before us and the people who are with us here, and the generation yet to come. Let's leave this planet, let's leave this continent that we so love, a better continent for our children and for our grandchildren and the generation to come. Let's continue protecting our children. That is the one challenge that we are still faced with. We need to do what we used to do before, make sure that we keep an eye on all the children, we protect our children. We need to make sure that we also let our children learn, go to school where possible, have the vaccination, access employment opportunities if they're of the right age. Let's show them love. I've seen so much talent on stage, the young people dancing, the young people singing, and that's what, as UNICEF, we encourage. We want to make sure that every child, regardless of their circumstance, are given opportunity to reach their full potential. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. They say, Maibuye Africa. Africa never left. Africa has been waiting for us to come back home. It is high time that as African descendants, we unlearn the truth, the lies that have been told about who we are. We need to revert back to basics, because everything boils down to who we are. You heard the speakers that were giving us a preview of each and every country. The problem that we had faced is that we identify country before we identify human being. Right now, there is a clarion call to restore our paradigm as Africans, to restore our Ubuntu, which is where I come from. Umtu Ngumtu Ngabantu Foundation, which is a foundation that brings life who we are, not just the intelligence of what we had been given, but to meng the intelligence with our conscious as Africans, our fluid intelligence, to give us the direction that was given to our forefathers, the direction that was given to those that came before us. Everything that we are facing throughout the continent, it is because we had forgotten who we are. We speak today of borders that segregated us, borders that made us to identify a human being based on the illusions and tools of the West. But it is high time that we say, these borders does not do anything for us. These borders are at the detrimental of who we are as Africans. I am because you are. Together we are an extension of each other. We cannot without one another. We had been subdued to a system that is foreign to us, that made us to be complacent and to be the least amongst everyone. But Africans, if we revert back to basics as to who we are and what we stand for, it is time, ixesha is now, that we look within ourselves as Africans and we ask ourselves, what legacy are we leaving? Are we going to allow Africa to perish over and over and over again? You would swear that South Africa, being the last to receive its freedom, it would do better. But South Africa cannot do better with a distorted knowledge of who we are. The previous speaker, those young intelligent people, when they were speaking, the one from Congo forgot to tell you that Congo is the womb of Africa. It's where melanin was made. It is where our ancestors hail from. The one that was speaking on behalf of Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is one of the greatest nations, but because of the illusions and tools that were given unto us, Zimbabwe could not stand the sanctions of the West, and because we were thought to hate one another, we saw Zimbabwe as a threat, and we accepted the fate that Zimbabwe was given. So, these events are made for us to go back home. Let us tap into our Ubuntu as an individual. Let us tap into our Ubuntu as a family. Let us tap into our Ubuntu as a community. Let's tap into our Ubuntu as a society at large through our thought, speech, and action. Ashe.
Jambo marafiki. Jambo marafiki. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Lunga Dweba. I come from Geopolitical Intelligence, a peace and security agency that works in support of the government and other collaborators. Firstly, I would like to congratulate Sis Pretty and her team, and more so the social cohesion advocates that were before us this afternoon. They've educated all of us, I have no doubt about it. I'm sure that most of the girls and boys on my left had a lot to learn from the speakers that were before us this afternoon. And without discrimination, the information that was shared by the lady Zintle, I'm sure that it assists all of us to understand that in the first place, what leads to migration, particularly forced migration. The speakers also highlighted the importance of unity. A reference was made to a conflict in the 19th century where Ethiopia was able to defeat the forces that came from Italy. Probably that was seen as a sheer luck for Ethiopia to be able to stand a European force. But a similar thing was repeated in the 20th century. And for Ethiopia to be able to achieve that, it was nothing other than unity. And the call for all of us is that each and every problem that we face, including that of forced migration, including that of anti-immigration sentiments, we can deal with those things if we unite as Africans. I have no doubt that we have the ability to do so. Thank you very much. Africa!
Molweni bantu base Alexandra, bantu base South Africa, bantu base Africa. Ndibulisa na kwizithwalandwe. Njengoko bese kuchiwa kwathiwa ndinguphumlani majakajaka. Ndiphuma pha kwezala sebele zobulungisa ePitoli. ndizawuthi gaba ndincome kulo msebenzi umhle kangaka wokucelebrate i-Africa Day. Indeed, it is our responsibility to build each other. It is our responsibility to learn to coexist so that we prosper together. As the Department of Justice, which is mandated by the Parliament to develop a national action plan to combat racism, racial discrimination, xenophobia, and related intolerance. Yes, indeed, we have done that in collaboration with other government departments, chapter institutions, civil society organizations, and United Nations organizations. As government, we've got programs that deal with the issues of hatred among people. As government, we've got projects that are there to mend what was created by colonialism and apartheid. The architects of apartheid and colonialism were very smart. It is gonna be a long journey to overcome such challenges, but that does not mean that we are not going to win the fight. We won them, now we have to win them again so that we can be united and become one Africa. Indeed, the Department of Justice, as the custodian of the Constitution, it put clearly that everybody who is in South Africa does have all the rights except the right to vote. That is why it is important that whether you are a foreign national or you are a citizen, you are entitled to benefit on all social and economic rights. But what is important is to respect the rules and the laws of each and every country. Removing borders is not going to be easy. They were created, and that is why I say those who created those borders, they knew that they wanted to divide us as Africa. It is our responsibility to stand up and unite. I thank you.
Molweni ma Africa, dumelang, Jambo Africa, kili dumediseng ma Africa ke re ra leboga. I'm a member of Social Cohesion, Advocate and Nation Building. My name is Sipho Mantula. I think when I was listening, one thing that is so striking is we see the numbers, to know the numbers, population yabatu, to know the challenges most of these countries they are facing. As you see, I'm sitting on the flag here, Congo, DRC. Next month, it will be the Youth Month, but the Youth Month and the Africa Month is only in this country, South Africa. We have put the whole month as an Africa Month, meaning we share and we learn about this beautiful continent. Those questions that were posed earlier, Sarah, they were correct. South Africa has been going through a lot. Apartheid was one of the challenges. Racism was one of them. But Afrophobia and xenophobia is something that has been going on globally and even continentally. And we should deal with the challenges of leadership as well as corruption. We have the kings here and queens. Within the community of Africans, the day IBT Africa Day, I wanted to remind the young people who are here, is the Liberation Day. Is how we liberate the mind of the young people. In your school, in your organization, Africa Month is almost every day, or Africa Day is almost every day. We don't have to wait for a month to can commemorate Africa Day. And secondly, these countries that they have been talking about, we must visit them. I think one thing that you must know is the issues of visas in Africa. We must travel the SADC region first. Namibia, you must know people of Lesotho, you must know people of Zimbabwe, by traveling, not by reading them on Google and on TV. And as well, people who are visiting South Africa also must be disciplined and responsible. And Lerona as the host, we must do the same. We must also host people in a respectable manner, because that's what South Africa has been going through. The manner we don't have high morale and high discipline. Another aspect is the issue of culture. We must respect the cultures of other nations. The language, puo eri buang, izilimi ezisithethayo.
dipuo tse re di buang le go ka tlhompha bagolo. Most of us here, I know that we do undermine our elders, but we must respect our elders in all aspects. That's one of the cultural values of Africa. The beat of a drum is what Walter Rodney said, is part of our culture. When there is music, there is unity. The other aspect that I've just picked up finally is that tomorrow, as we'll be going to Soweto month, South Africa, it is going through a lot in terms of the load shedding and energy. Social cohesion must also bring communities together and nation building. To go back to our culture, we must use renewable energies. Masivuka ekuseni, there is a sun. But some of us, we don't know the power of the sun. The water. I was in Tanzania last week. I was not Thabo Bester, eh? I was in Tanzania for other reasons. But Tanzania, you hardly see the power cuts. Tanzania people are planting trees. Tanzania people are cleaning. If you go to Namibia, you find that there is cleanness. So in our communities, we need to clean. Rwanda, those sisters who are from Rwanda, they have every last Saturday of the month, there's a cleaning campaign, Muganda. So in South Africa as well, for us to be conscious and to be clear, we need to have a cleaning campaign that we initiate. And social cohesion and nation building will still push the minister, will still push Ramatamela, Ramaphosa to say, let's go back to the cleaning campaign initiative. And also the issues of taking care of our senior citizens. Our elders, they are not the aged, they are the senior citizens, they are the elders. And within the Rastafari community, we will always say, respect the elders in all aspects. If we don't respect our elders, we are not going anywhere. And our mothers, our women, our children, it is very important. So next month, 16 June, is also known as the Day of an African Child in the African calendar. It's a Soweto Uprising month. Alexandra was banning also. Alexandra has a history of the Soweto Uprising. We must document it. Let's document our history. Abantwana balana, careers, when you want to go to university, you must study African politics. You must study African history. You must study African law. You must study African culture. And you must respect the kings and queens. Africa, asante sana, Sijumbo Africa, enkosi.
Siyabonga kakhulu from our speakers, eloquent and clear. Thank you so much. Let's give them another round of applause. Thank you so much. You can take off the stage. We will have a short entertainment from Princess Nogulenga. If she's ready. Princess Nogulunga. If she's ready, she can ascend the stage. Can you wave for me? Princess Nogulunga, are you here? Princess Nogulunga is here. After Princess, we will get Honorable Chief Director Sizakele Shongwe from the Department of Arts and Culture Sports to give us one of the important messages for the day. Thank you.
Ça, c'est la convocalisation. Affaire monsieur tout Congo.
Omlambo ukhethiwe wena ngumdala uyodibana nabadala bethu abangaphesheya basiyame phambili njithwa bahleli angatha usuziphathela ukuqonda nolonwabo yena nengebo kwisizwe esintundu hamba welela Besheya babulindile welela ngabesheya 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 welela Take us to the other side. Woyo, 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 wo. Oh, busy where we're now. Thank you so much. Princess Nogulunga Butelezi, featuring myself, Asana Delitazo. Thank you so much.
Ezandleni, ezandleni, ezandleni. Amazing. Lapho bomake balilindele, Thank you so much. I cannot explain. You have seen it yourself. Honorable Chief Director, Department of Arts, Department of Sports, Arts and Culture, Honorable Sizalekele Shongwe, is hosting for us in the whole country the Social Cohesion Advocates Program. The ones you have seen here, they are coming under this beautiful mama, Africa, who is the Chief Directorate of the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture. Mama, we are grateful. Thank you for this program. It's uniting Africans. Continue. Alutwa, Mama. I want to tell you while you're still alive, you're doing amazing.
Yizwa imithandazo yethu Nkosi sikelela thina usapho lwayo. Mayibuye i-Africa, izwe lethu. Sanbonani, ngidawuba mfisha njengesifombo sami. It's been a long day and I know that it's cold. I really feel sorry for those. It's Child Protection Week, so I'm very particular about how we treat our children. Ngisebenzile in the Department of Social Development for 11.5 years. So ngiyati kahle child protection and the rights of children. And I know that sesilambile and all that. But ngithanda ukunibingelela nonke ngetigaba tenu letehlukahlukene. We've already done the protocol in the morning, so I'm not going to acknowledge everybody here. But ngidawuthanda kubonga kakhulu the community of Alexandra and surrounding areas. Siyabonga kakhulu for hosting us today and ensure that sigqobha kahle lezozo on the 31st, on the last day of Africa Month. Thank you very much. It's been very colorful and very bright. But I also want to thank the organizers of the activity that we had today, especially coming from a social cohesion advocate, Upriti. I call her Mama Action because so thank you very much, Priti. Your work doesn't go unnoticed. So thank you very much for that. I just want to say that as the Department of Sport, Arts and Culture, we're very happy to be here on the 31st of May, marking the last day of Africa Month, which should be actually Africa Month every month and Africa Day every day. But I just want to remind us that the theme for Africa Month for 2023 is deepening the AU vision for unity, prosperity, peace, modernity, and a better Africa and a better world, which is what we've already spoken about. So I'm not going to go at length about that. Because I wanted them to do the math for me, to say that if we're saying it's the 60th anniversary of the African Union, when was it established, Bantabam? Oh, good. I should have come with my prices. Yes, 1963. And what was it called before it was called the AU? Organization of African Unity, right? Yes. All right. Okay, I just also want to say, as a department, we've done a lot for Africa Month. We started on the 1st of May, Sailoncha Ekunu. I think the people from Eastern Cape will know where that is, but it's very important in terms of our history. And on the 25th of May, we were at the Cradle of Humankind as well, which is very important because some people will actually say Africa is upside down. So when we say we're all from the north, it's because South Africa is supposed to be facing that way and it goes this way. So a Cradle of Humankind ila bumvu be fune bumvu baqala la. So we are the people yetabantu. Yes. So we celebrated it there and then we're happy that we're here. And it's a pity that Ubab Mapoloba Agaseko, because I wanted to acknowledge him as one of the legends music industry. Those are the people that we don't tend to acknowledge. And I'm acknowledge her because Black Mambazo as well has been in existence for 63 years. And they've actually been at the Joburg Theatre. I'm a theatre A2 as Wavagasheli, so we wouldn't have known. Maybe it's not accessible, maybe it's not affordable, but they were there. And what I liked about Black Mambazo is that Bapusha a message of peace as well, and unity and harmony. So I think as we support music now, and as we get to know about our history, we need to know Uguti, these are the kind of people that are doing this work. And what they have done more than anything is that they've created a mobile library. So bahamba throughout the provinces of South Africa, ukufundisa ngombaqanga and all that music genre. Ifreistata ayiko, but they actually have a group that is from there. So we are very happy as the Department of Sport, Arts and Culture to be here. The other important thing I'm going to say is that we say the sport, arts and culture unites us. And as Africa, we're very proud to be hosting a World Cup. I Cup say figile on television, you saw it figile Tegwini. Youth Month is going to be in Bloemfontein, Siobesinayo on the 16th, Emangawung. So we are saying as the Department of Sport, Arts and Culture, we're proud as South Africa, but proud on behalf of Africa as well. As I'm going to be going towards the end of the inputs from the department, to say that Africa is 60 years, we need to understand where we come from, what have we done, how are we silencing the guns. Not only should we silence the guns, but we need to silence iskalo, sabo mama, sabantwana, samantombazanyana. We need to silence iskalo, sabantu bebala, people with albinism who are killed for luck, who are killed for their body parts to be harvested and sold. So we say that as the AU and as civil society, we need to be able to question our leaders as well. I think Rasman has already spoken about leadership and corruption and that kind of thing. So as Africans, as citizens, we also need to question that. And we also need to make sure that we are taking them into consideration. The last thing is that city, sports, arts and culture unites us. But after the rugby is gone, the football is gone, the cricket is gone, after the festival is gone, Gusala in, I would like to encourage us as Africans as we part today. Let's go back to issues that are basic. Trust, whether it's trust between ourselves, whether it's trust between us and government, whether it's trust between us and institutions. After that concert or that tournament, will I still, as a woman in South Africa, feel comfortable for a man to drive me in an Uber taxi to go home? Will I still feel okay after that soccer match and that? So trust is very important in the issue of social cohesion. Also the issue of respect. See, respect time. The most important thing for me when we talk about our African sisters and brothers is the integration into communities. South Africa. It shouldn't be everyone in South Africa is littering, so I can litter as well. It's very important for me. Understand that, because it means a lot to me. You recognize me, you see me as a human being. In fact, I actually had an altercation with someone just because they don't want to understand that for me it's very important and the issue of participation and making sure that the participation of everyone is meaningful. It's not just participation because we're going to vote next year, no? So yes, let our participation be very effective. But with that, then I just want to say that thank you very much for coming out and for braving the cold and being true African in your clothing, in the food, in the language, in the dance, in the music. You have shown that you are truly African. And as the Department of Sport, Arts and Culture, we do say we continue to remain committed to promoting social cohesion, nation building as well. Nyabong. Asante, asante sana.
Siyabonga kakhulu, Chief Directorate, Sizagele Shongwe, Mapengeta, Sports Arts, and culture. I would like to call on stage a cultural group called Embo Cultural and Ensemble. After that, Sizotola King Majesty, Pungane the third, Azo Sipa Amazwi, Besege advocate, pretty Ngube Uyas Valel. Staging a senu, calling upon Embo Cultural Ensemble Group. Thank you very much. Let's give them a round of applause.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are here to present Embo Cultural Ensemble. Bayete! My people, come, come, let us enjoy our traditional dance. Come, let us dance and enjoy our heritage. This is our past, our present, and our future. Come, come, come. Bayete!
That's why I'm supposed to.
Wemkhuze, wemkhuze. Wemkhuze, wemkhuze. Isinqo. Oh, isinqo, isinqo. Isinqo, ngo. Ikhala! Pray! Wathitha thina. Thina. Thina siba umthakathi. Thina umthakathi. Ebulala abathakathi. Ebulala abathakathi. Yembe! Imalo babo asazani babhemi. Gena! Asha! Asha! Yena umakikizi mfela abayivalele endlini abayinika amantongomani. Yena umakikizi mfela abayivalele endlini abayinika amantongo. Yena umakikizi mfela abayivalele endlini abayinika amantongo. Gena! first time they perform outside. Yilesh, shout. Yilesh, shout. Yilesh, shout. Yilesh, shout. Yilesh. Shout. Shout. Yilesh, shout. Yilesh, shout. Yilesh, shout. Yilesh, shout. Yilesh, shout. Yilesh. Yilesh, shower. Yilesh, shower. Yilesh, shower. Deka, 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 deka. Yeyo, yeyo, yeyo.
Sibonge kakhulu. Angeke ngichithe isikhathi. Ngicela kwatisa sive lesikhona ukuthi kunemnotfo lokhona lapha emuva nangaphandle. Titolo letahlukahlukene lapha ema-Afrika abonakalisa khona timotawo. So there are stalls you need to support. These are our shops from all different countries that are here today. So go and support in the spirit of Ujamaa. On the stage, I like us to welcome by showing indlela yokuhlonipha, a sense of respect, those who can stand up, laba labangakhona kusukuma, for His Majesty King Pungane III of the Embo Royal Kingdom. King Pungane, we welcome you in respect as the subjects, your people, and our hope is in you. His Majesty. A round of applause and we sit down.
Bayete, thank you very much. Bayete! Bayete! Ladies and gentlemen, angeke ngikhulume isintu because asi-accommodateni abanye abantu. Today we were listening to our youth talking about different countries, talking about let us be one. The question is, do we really understand what it is meant to be one? What I was listening here today, it is a presentation about countries that are colonized or that were colonized before. I so wish our parents would listen Because it is them who are talking, and it is them who need to nurture and teach our children. This is your chance to listen, so that when you leave here, you are able to reclaim your identity and your destiny. Your problem, our people, is that we know it all. That is our mistake. Did you know that the first people that were created on earth, it was us, the people of color? Today, we are fighting against each other precisely for one reason. That all of us, we know better because we were colonized. What is the meaning of colonialization or colonialism? Colonialism, it is a system where somebody from outside come and teach you how to behave, how to do things according to his or her way of doing. So, the majority of you were taught how to behave by your colonizers. That's why you don't listen today. When they meet themselves, they listen. The colonizers told you that the people who have died are demons. You believe. They do go to their cemeteries, the very same colonizers. But Nina, you are divided based on religious denominations. Today you don't like each other because mina ngisonte Zayoni, lo sonta kalkhanyani, lo wi Muslim, lo wi yini. It is because of ignorance. You, the people, you were chosen. You, the people, you were above religion. When the Creator created you, gave you something that is called melanin. Can we define what is melanin? It is something that is designed like a pineal gland. That pineal gland, it releases a substance that makes you to connect with the cosmos, that makes you to connect with the Creator. You don't need Jesus Christ to connect. Please listen to me. All of you, you don't need the middleman to connect with the Creator. I don't care what you say, but that is the truth. You don't need Jesus Christ to connect. You have something in your system that makes you to be this color, that you connect direct. But you have forfeited that. You know why? Because you have listened to somebody who does not have this thing that is called melanin. You have reduced yourselves into nothing. You have accepted their culture, their tradition, their custom. That's why you are nobodies. You are followers. Christian says one day, when we were having a discussion, he says, yazi abantu abamnyama, the way bangixaka ngakhona, umlungu bathathela yonke into yabo. Makaceda ukubathathela yonke into yabo, uyababiza uthi singanenzela ntoni, bathi hayi qala ngamandiya lawa. Uve bona ukuthi bathini. Athi amandiya, uthi umlungu kumandiya, thina sithe masifika la eSouth Africa sathola labantu abamnyama laba bala ukusebenzela, sayonilande eIndia ukuthi nizosebenza kulokhuzani kusugar plantation. Singanibonga ngani? Bathi sicela nisivumeleni sithengisa amatamati nama-anyanyisi. Bathi abelungu consider it done. Umuntu omnyama siqhibile kaloku ngeNdiya. Asithethe nani, singanenzela ntoni ngoba sinithathele yonke into yenu. Bathi abamnyama, don't worry, we are following these Indians. Uyayiva loo nto? Niyafollowa namhlanje. Ngizondeni mani ngizonda but nginitshela iqiniso. Anina nothing. Because why? you decided to disengage from the Creator. You are nobodies because somebody changed what you were owning. It is called spirituality. Nonke nemasontweni niyobhadala ama-tithe nibhiliva kulo muntu obekelele nomfazi izola zonibamba amakhanda. Umuntu omnyama kabanjwa ikhanda. Umuntu omnyama is divine. You need only to reconnect, to pray. All shall be well and connected. Today, amaJuda, lawe kungasa amaJuda, antshela ukuthi ba amaJuda niyavuma nani. iIsrael bayithathile ngenxa ukuthi nizibhanqa. What happened to the 12 tribes of Judah? What happened to the last tribe that is called the tribe of Levi? You know, that tribe, it is called the tribe of Levi. You know why? Because it is a tribe that it is the one that it blesses other tribes. You know who's that tribe? It is yourselves. But you have forfeited that because you don't engage. Nomnikazi wendaba. Uthe uMoses mabaphuma eGibhithe bathi abanye amaqembu hayi thina kungcono silwe nalabantu bakaFaro laba baye bathi kungcono sizibulale angeke sibuyele thina soba igqila zalabantu. Wathi uMoses, where is your faith? Iphi? Namhlanje niyalwa. Nilwa ngokuthi we are divided in tribal groupings. Who created these tribes? Because we were abantu abangoni. Not nguni. Nguni, it's an insult. Tina singabantu abangoni. In simple English, simply means people who do not dwell into sin. What has happened to you guys? The Creator gave you and blessed you with all these minerals. Today you are fighting ukuthi hey lo ikwerekwere uzola uzongithathela umsebenzi. It is not about umsebenzi. What you are supposed to be fighting for and unite, it is the rule to be in charge of the mineral resources of your country. If you have that, you know what does it mean? It means the government of the day that you yourself, you will be in charge of. The dividend shareholdings of these minerals would be paying for the tuition of your children, would be paying for a dividend shareholder. Yes, a Saudi Arabia today, or a United Arab Emirates, what is happening today? Umntwana makazalwa aqala khala nje aphuma esinyeni sakanina, already he or she is a millionaire from me oil. Nina ama minerals wenu angakanani la South Africa, asiyeki Africa yonke sikhulume ngeSouth Africa. Today the same minerals we are talking about, amalahle asempumalanga ayaphuma akhishwa yigebengu, niyavuma nithulile nisolo nilwa ukuthi hayi lo ikwerekwere makahambe. Yimpi ekufanele ngiqale kuyo le ukuthi lamalahle aphuma kanjani thina abanikazi bezwe singazi. Anganoma niyangizwa ukuthi ngithini. You need to unite and take stock of the minerals so that all of you become shareholders of these minerals, resources in your country. Yekani lento yenu yokusolo nilwa ngokuthi ubani kwerekwere. Yazi amakwerekwere abobani yini. Niphume Central Africa nina nonke. Ungathi ngokuthi ngoba wena ufike ekuqala la bese ucabanga ukuthi omunye akana right la. Awunayo right. We are nomads, all of us. We came from Central Africa in the Congo region. That's where we came from, all of us. Ungabocabanga ukuthi ngoba wena so unendlu unani so ubona umunye umuntu angasezi la. You don't have a right to say that. It is only the creator that has the right to say that. Ni worse futhi than ukuthi nihambe niyolwela ilokhuzana bayibizane ukureclaima iCongo leyenu anilweli. Ni useless. Ngoba iCongo today yiyo esupplier wonke lama mineral kulomhlaba but anilwi. Hey, lama Zimbabwean mawahambe lawa agcwelela. Kuke nasibuza ukuthi bahambe basuka phi labantu? Basuke eNatal. AmaNdebele. Asuka ngomfecane kaShaka. Sendabaxosha namhlanje ukuthi ayihambani nina. Is it fair? Is it fair? Did you know nina zoni? Uzonitshela namhlanje ningizonde maningizonda. Zoni ndini. Labantu ekuthiwa abalobedi. Did you know ukuthi they come from Zimbabwe by origin? So why do you decide today ukuthi ubana ngezi ubana ngazi? It's not fair. Because the creator is going to judge you. Laba namhlanje abathathwe ngeslavery abagcwele yonke lelizwe abo America in the Caribbean, what are we saying about them? They were forcefully taken. These are your brothers and sisters. They must come back and reclaim their destiny. All what I'm asking from you in closing, Ngitigini, reclaim your spirituality. Spirituality, what does it do to you? It defines your culture. It defines your tradition. It defines your custom. It makes you a divine nation. A nation that has consciousness. A nation leno nembeza. If all of us can create that divine nation, peace shall prevail in our land, the continent of Africa. Bayeti.
I think he deserves another standing ovation. Asimsukumele. No one else could conclude the day other than King Pungane, His Majesty. Another standing ovation, a huge round of applause. Ngifuna inkwele nomlilitelo. My co-host, where are you? Inkosi ikhulumile. Come with me on stage as we welcome Advocate. We can take our seats. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You are wonderful too. You have been a brilliant audience. And thank you to our caterers. I'm seeing people are getting replenished. I'm sure there's more. To my co-host, there's something that wants to be said. And Advocate, the mother of the house, the queen, our own Nzinga is here. Ukhona Nzinga la? Nang, she's here. Queen Nzinga, she's dressed like her. And I think her features today looks exactly like her. My co-host, anything you want to tell me before the queen of the house come here?
Nami ngibonge kakhulu kileboge kudu kamatla na kenza swinene ndolibuwa ngamanda. Thank you so much for being a patient audience. From Stolo Sabalebye, Aruna Gamuloiso, Stolo Sapevi, signed, sealed, delivered. Africa, we are one. Thank you.
Queen is taking the stage now. Let's give her a round of applause. While I should not forget Uguti Commission for Religion, Linguistics and Culture was also here. If they are still here, give thanks to them. They are also promoting the same work that Ubaba, King, His Majesty, has been talking about. Thank you so much. Advocate.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Angikwazi ukukhuluma ngoba His Majesty has spoken. So I can simply say thank you very much for coming here today. Thank you to our sponsors, Department of Arts and Culture, Offices Copland, UNICEF, and abanye abasupport in kind.
Thank you so much, peace builders who came from all different places, people from Alexandra. Thank you so much, Gogo Tabile, Amakosi to the advocates, Mtwana Nkosi who came all the way from KZN to come and grace this event. Thank you so much and God bless you. I love you all.
It's time to mingle. It's time to meet each other more as we go for, our delicious meals and drinks and visiting our stalls. Those that feel they have something to share, like more performances. I know we have a beautiful poet here. She's a radio presenter from Alex FM. She's with us. We can have more couple of groups performing while you're enjoying the stalls, you're enjoying your meals, you network, you communicate with each other more. I hope the elders have been served or are going to be served with dignity. Abantu abadala, izitatanyiswa, abaphathi, senze sure ukuthi they are taken care of. Our social cohesion advocates, please take your role now by ensuring ukuthi abantu abadala, they are taken care of, the kids are taken care of, and everybody is looked after. If you have more items for entertainment, I'll be sitting in the corner, just register your items up to 4:30. It's 4 o'clock now or 4:05. We will be having some just live entertainment here. Take care, be safe, and be blessed in whatever way. Thokozani. Let's welcome on stage our poet. She's the radio presenter at Alex FM, and she's gonna give us some phenomenal pieces and entertainment. Thank you so much.
Sanbonani. Aye Africa, aye. Aye Africa, aye. My poem says, rise Africa, rise. Pagama Africa, Pagama. From Cape to Cairo, from Egypt to Zambia, from Tanzania to Ethiopia, from Somalia to South Africa, from Zimbabwe to Botswana. Gizoti Pagama Africa, Pagama. Pagama denzondo Pagama. Uksugo elimine sanelayo. Uguya badwebi nabadobi belizwe. Gizoti Pagama Africa, Pagama. From our melody to la by songs, la posoti tula mana. Uzutule sana lwami, tuluma muzobuya. Heguseni tula nana. Uzutule we sana lwami, tuluma muzobuya. Egusen uksuka ke kwimdwebokazi elizwe ukuya kubtiwokazi ngizothi Pagama Africa awama engathi sidudweba sinciphisa basikhohlisa ngengathi engathi sikhohlisiwe ukuthi singoba nina namhlanje ngizothi Pagama Africa Pagama uksuko limini esancelayo ukuya elimini esilikhulumayo size siziqhenye lapho sothi iqhude liqhaqho. Let's roll our languages, let's roll our languages. Ke sithi qhaqa uqhoqho. From our melody to our lullaby songs, let's be proud of us. Pagama Africa, Pagama.
Siyabonga kakhulu. The lineup is getting full. The beautiful children want to perform again. They start off tomorrow, or as of Monday, it's Africa Week. It's Child Week, so the children will participate a lot. And our UNICEF speaker spoke about taking care of our children and make sure that they participate in all aspects. On stage, I'll welcome another fella. I'll welcome another fella who is ready to give us some wonderful, never been seen before performance. I think he's getting ready his tunes. If you're ready, you'll give me a thumbs up when you're ready. They are giving me a thumbs up. Let's give him a round of applause. Are you ready? 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 Over to you, 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 over to you. Yes, 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 yes. Yes.
Ngwane shu ke go dumedisha kae ka pakae mo longona moatlhodi mogolwane wa ditshwene marana gorela wa ga chimpanzee o tlhole a lebeletswe ka leitlho la ntšhotšhonono kwa parlamenteng se se tswelela morago ga gore mmadibekwane a tlhalose phatlalatša gore yo roto wa ga chikanoši o ile a mo phaya thetho ka kgang.
Hello mntwana. Hello baby.
Hey, ska mpita baby, wena sina baby yao.
Okay, sorry baby. Bafana mara why wena banyana ba phela ba go tshikela so o swantse o rapele ya bafana o bolela nnete a rena pere khuna men rapele a bafana ta go botsetsa ba dingwishi a re tswalla mahlo amen a wale ke rapetse mfana ka taba tsa ka di tlo tsamaya ga botse a ke tshepe botsa ngwana go tshwara ka lotsogo ke bona.
Take my hand and run with me out of the past called yesterday and walk with me into the future of tomorrow.
Wambazi.
Uskambaza hake baziwe kina abaz baya di unity umbelle.
Ma, skarinya, kero dirle kam khala kire ngudire na. Ya.
Mama me. Mama me. Happy belated.
Eish, marma mo atswenya yo. Tibos, arona biri mfanaka.
Whenever they rona biri maro reka di khasela.
And then ona kan zwang.
Emanya.
Heban, udira mon.
Hello?
Bruari, chencha kasele. Bruari, buleke yare bulaya, buleke yare bulaya, buleke yare bulaya, buleke yare bulaya, buleke yare bulaya.
eng mfanaka
Ah, ba re ba tlo e change
ba re ba tlo e change
Yeah.
ayoba
afuna growth ilala
hey chaba re fete re tloga he bana ga ne motho a re kuna
Ulindlela bemamkhophozi Yewunyana wami Elele uyashadla namhlanje Ulindlela Wena manyawuza Suba nomona Nyana wami uthathi
ish mara phawa a o e tshwenya batho hello
Sando sami senhliziyo Iphethe wena mfuna wena Dali wami love you wami Ithanda wena wedwa
Sami my love Sweetie lam nomkhuhlwa Ngithanda wena noma beshwashwata mina nginandaba nestyle Stano sami my love Sweetie lam nomkhuhlwa Ngithanda wena noma beshwashwata mina nginandaba nestyle
he bana ba ntšela phone ke sa bolelele baby wa ka mo
Ah, wena mono wa bora mono gale gola le mo founung mo nna re nyaka ona biri
ish
Nakwenwe ukazisola nakwenwe ukazisola Nakwenwe ukazisola nakwenwe ukazisola Nakubudile kibijamo
You used to call me on my You used to Yeah
Ewe
ekusema mpintsho skiphan
next DJ Mngoma ichima play
hayi mfethu net la ukhona kunomsindo man
hayi ngutira no Sostina
ubani
tira no Sostina
eish bagayele ebelasi ngibakhalime
hello
Wetira nino Sostina nino msindo Afoten mende kalao nino msindo Wetira nino Sostina nino msindo Afoten mende kalao nino msindo
ebon DJ Mngoma o khalema bomangi jo ke tira le Sostina ebon tira le Sostina I'm sure jazaka number 1 valamo
We announced that our membership figures stood at 700, listen properly, 769,820.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here.
Huh?
Get out of here, man. Shit, I'm saying. Get.
Well, and 70 members down from 100.2 million in 2012.
bafana ga botse go palla go bala zaka poetry yona o tla e gona wena o ka e gona mang nna tlisha mo ke go bontse
Let it go. That's TD Jakes. There are people who walk away from you. When people walk away from you, let them walk.
ba le file dikipa tša Mandela tše di botse be re di apara ka moka le nna ke se apara ba re fa tša Thabombeki tše di botse re be re di apara ka moka jalo ba tlile ba lefa tše di yelo tša tho e kgolo ya o imela re ka se kgona ape tho e o e lebeletše le mo skipe o di o bona gore tho e di o tala santa o na selo ka moare ka tho e di o tala thathamoši.
Don't talk another person into staying with you. Don't talk another person into loving you. Don't talk another person into calling you, caring about you.
nna ke masepa mfana ka msho wena o palla le ke go reta
o tšea chance gomme ya swa e gama ke mang
ke leseba le se ka taputi matlakeng puti ya boya ka tana le sebeng pona bonnyane ke motlang go la tinti go la palafala ka tša kotsi ka tša rumo ka tlhabapela ga banna ka re le nna banna ba mšhato re le santeng ba re ka re takimo sa re teng kgaetšedi tša go tšepedi
mfana masipa wa lo tlo dira re batho ba bolele kudu ka wena ha lole nna
se kwa bolela le batho ba re wa ipona le go itira motho ba reka diaparo tse botse ba re o ka re o di fegile koteng wa ba le ngwana le girlfriend ga ba re a swa ga ba mapesitse patsi wa šoma mošomo o mokaone ba re a ba go le selo batho ba ba patele man wa šoma boima ba re yo ba no le ba kobile
ngoma tlogela tšeo tša dipolelo wa tseba difeng ke nyako re retšhisa nyama boy retšhisa nyama wang ke sene zaka tšo a una zaka ya tšo bafana se ka bolela so wa bona batho ba leng moka a bana zaka mara
ongenesikhathi sabo ongenesikhathi sabo ongenesikhathi sabo
awa tšitše mokoma gape mo re no bina mara batho a ba re latlhelele or maybe ka thato ya modimo ra robe dipelo esh mfanaka
baba kulungile makwintando yakho okwenzeke empilweni zethu kulungile
bona boy ke boneng bona ngwanola esh sesi
You make me lie when I don't want to, and make someone else some kind of unknowing fool. You make me stay when I should not. Are you so strong, or is the weakness in me? You make me lie when I don't want to, and make someone else some kind of unknowing fool.
bafana ga botse gore tšhiri go meka la bora gore eng ka re tšhiri ke yaka a go a swana se a go le one efeng
sanibonani nonke hayo we mama sanibonani nonke sanibonani nonke hayo we mama kulomthathi lapha endlini simboni sungena njani ngoba unomthathi lapha endlini simbonile isongena njani ngoba awuphuma wemthathi singene endlini uma wemthathi singene endlini ibazule becula bethi shobe ulalela abantu abahlulekile empilweni wemfana ayoshezi beqeka nje yoqeda amandla mina musulalela abantu abahlulekile empilweni wemfana nje ayoshezi beqeka nje yoqeda amandla umvule kuzimusi bakheka athi liyophelele emoyeni nje kanti wenza nomfana umufuna ukwenda bakheka athi umendi kahlobe ngani amadoda yezi awubafuna uphela amandla wena musulalela abantu abahlulekile empilweni wemfana ayoshezi beqeka nje beqeda amandla imizamo yakho nomduxeka abantu usehlulekile empilweni usehlalele uxeka abantu nomduxeka abantu nje nehlulele impilo nomduxeka abanye usehlulekile empilweni usehlalele uxeka imizamo yabanye abantu umufuna ukali uthi liyophelele emoyeni umfana wenze uqeda amandla umufuna ukali emfuleni uyaqeka ufuna uyozama usulalela abahlulekile ilomntu uxeka abanye ehlulile usehlalele uxeka abantu
esongaphakathi intanda abaziyo batidubula magazi intsabanyalo watamnangicayelatomkwaqelatomekade zadumba inhliziyo zabantu ibundo maskani madoda ufanza uvesi bonke phelele bamangala bonke bathi yadubani lona ithi mina ngizalwe phansi wagoda emahlabathwani bashinitsi mumeze babeshila ngevu abhoka bhokela phansi ka-exmen kadoda uyiphuza igazi
Siyabonga kakhulu. The last group abantwana, the cultural group from His Majesty, Embo Ensemble Cultural Group. They are closing the stage. Ningalimali, take care of yourself. Make sure ukuthi nikhuphuka kahle, niza estage. Take care of izintambo phansi, ningagileki niwe. We've had a beautiful day, no incidents. Everybody has been well. Basibusisile abasiphethe. Basigadile yonke into yenzeka. Beautiful kids, are you ready?
Yes, we are.
Are you ready?
Yes, we are.
Now, I'm not sure.
We are ready. We are here to sing. Please enjoy. Angela was.